Hi, Sharks. Happy Money Monday. And I know it's not technically Juneteenth, but it is on the federal level. So happy Juneteenth as well. I wanted to make this episode about this topic just because I want people to understand how important it is. And I feel like it's like everything else in the United States, right? It's something that has such a deep historical meaning, yet it's kind of becoming commercialized. And I want to make sure that we hold true to the values of what Juneteenth is and what it represents. And I want to make sure that we're choosing ways to celebrate that are uplifting the community and people of color, and that we're supporting Black-owned businesses today. I've seen a lot of big corporations kind of try to pull on Juneteenth, and that it feels kind of icky. And I want us to have a better sense of what it is and what we could be doing and how we can be an ally. Um, so let me start by saying, what is Juneteenth? So I'm wondering if some of you know. If you can, please put it in the comments. But Juneteenth is basically signifying the end of slavery. So when slavery was abolished, it took over 2 years for that to be recognized, for the Union soldiers to tell slaves in Texas that they were free. And that actually happened on June 19th. And that's where this holiday comes from. And that is why it is a day of celebration. It is a day of making sure that we know our history and we know where we came from so that it does not get repeated. It's I fear sometimes that when holidays become commercialized, we forget the meaning, and then it loses its meaning, and these things do tend to repeat. And I don't ever want us to go down the road of racism. It's still alive and well in many parts of the country. I mean, I just this weekend, like, I've watched some documentaries that just still shock me, right? Shock me to my core, where like neo-Nazism and racism is still alive and well everywhere. And that it seems like we've come so far, and yet we still have so much further to go. And I'm coming at this from, obviously, this is Money Monday, so we're going to come at it from a Money Monday standpoint. How can we support? How can we make sure that, our Black-owned businesses thrive? How can we support the small businesses? How can we make sure we attend celebrations that really focus on the essence of Juneteenth and not on the commercialism of it? So this amazing event that I went to, it was actually on Friday. It was the Zen Nights Juneteenth celebration. Juneteenth has only been a federal holiday now for, this was the second year, but Zen Nights has been doing this celebration for 6 years now. And it was such a great experience. I went there last year. I did it again this year. It was in Mesa, Arizona. It was the perfect mix, I think. A ton of small, local owned Black businesses. It's a vegan block party, which, like, I'm all about that life. But it brought together all of these small Black owned businesses along with speeches, performances. We had singing, we had dancing, we had, singing performances, I should say. I wasn't singing. You do not want to hear me sing. But we had a dance performance. We had several speakers, one of them actually from Galveston, Texas, to tell about what Juneteenth meant to them and what they have been, experiencing and how they celebrate every year and the things that we should be focusing on. Um, I got to support a bunch of local Black-owned businesses, and that's like one of my favorite parts from a money standpoint of this holiday, of really being able to come out and show support and come out and speak with my dollars, because that is what I believe in. And I come on here and that's what I tell you guys to do too. Let your dollars do the talking for you. You get to choose who you want to support. You get to choose the values that you want to support, and you can do that by putting your money behind it. I'm going to shout out some of the amazing Black-owned businesses that I supported. And I even, which was really cool for me, and it was kind of the first time I've done this on the street. I actually I signed up to give charity to a nonprofit that helps abused women in domestic violence situations, abused people in domestic violence situations. And that was really, I love that they had that in the mix as well. Like these nonprofits coming and like talking about what they're about and how they're trying to change the game for people of color and, people in the community. So shout out to CARES, which I signed up to support. And I'm supporting them quarterly now. The Righteous Tone, I have to say, this was like the first business that I bought from, and I'm so incredibly happy with my purchases. This amazing woman makes the coolest jewelry. I got these like bomb ass earrings that I promptly took off my own earrings and put on, and I was repping her the whole night. Hot sauce and pepper. Like, if you guys are watching, your cauliflower wings are divine. I cannot speak higher of them. I was so glad because I actually invited some friends as well, and everyone who came was just so like blown away by the small businesses, by the presentations, by the performances. And it was such a good showing for the community, and it was such a good way for people to get involved and people to get the message and people to understand. I mean, there is always going to be hate, and that's a sad part. But even at this event, I remember during the speeches, there was like a heckler sitting behind me, and all I could do, like we wanted to walk over to there was a police booth, and like, what can we do? How can we get this guy out? But there's this freedom of speech, and like, you just have to understand that like, these people are out there, and that is why we're fighting it. That is why it is so important to keep doing these events, to keep bringing this to the forefront every single day, over and over. Do not forget about Juneteenth, because Juneteenth is over. Today is the day after. We're doing it as a federal holiday. Today is the evening. So you might not have a chance to go out and support a Black-owned business today. Doesn't matter. Carry that over. It doesn't have to be today. It should be every day, not just today, right? We want to support our community. We want to support the members of the community that have not had it as easy as us. Like, I'm part of a minority. I am not Black, but I understand the need to support minorities. And this is a time where we have to step up and support people of color. We have to step up and support the Black community. We have to make sure that we are buying from their businesses, not just on Juneteenth, every single day. We need to make sure that we are combating racism every single day, not just one day out of the year, and learning these stories and telling these stories and inviting people to join you in hearing these stories is what is going to make that happen. We need to speak. We need to keep speaking about it. We need to keep, knocking down all of the walls and all of these different, like, how do I say this? Like, all of the different things that have come up and separate us. That's what we have to do. We have to keep knocking down the things that separate us. So I'm going to shout out the businesses: Hot Sauce and Pepper, The Righteous Tone, Carmen's Creations, So Fresh Smells. Oh my God, like there were so many amazing businesses. Those are just some of the ones that I bought from. So Fresh Smells, I bought these amazing, so everything is like homemade cleaning products, car fresheners, stuff made with essential oils. I bought 2 car fresheners. One was, of course, so it's a dolphin, but it looks like a shark. So I was like, on brand, on theme, regardless, I'm getting this. I bought 2 pairs of earrings from The Righteous Tone. I bought 2 necklaces from Carmen's Creations. I bought 2 air fresheners from So Fresh Smells. Bought cauliflower wings from Hot Sauce and Pepper. I really want to shout out to Zen Nights for keeping this topic alive and making sure that it happens year after year, and that more people are exposed to this, and that more people can come out and support, and really making it true about the holiday. There, I really appreciated that the mayor of Mesa was there as well, like bringing, another piece of the community out and making this really an event that's about teaching. So shout out to Zen Nights about not only making this a vegan event, which I always appreciate, but really staying true to the ideology of the holiday and not making this like a commercial thing where we're doing Juneteenth sales. Like, that's not what we're doing. I shared this 2 years ago, and I shared it again this year, but it was from a Black business owner saying, like, don't send me coupons for your Juneteenth sale. That is not what this holiday is about. This holiday is about going out and supporting the Black community, making sure that people understand what the holiday is about. People understand that, like, that slavery was not too long ago, and that we need to make sure that we take the steps away from there. We take the steps away from racism. We take the steps away from inequality. We move, and unfortunately, we move slow as humans. But the more that we can talk about it, the more that we open up dialogues, the more people that come to these events, the more people that learn, the better it will be for all of us. So Juneteenth, not just today, it's every day. Go out, support people of color, support your local Black-owned business. Find out, especially right now, because inflation is really hard on small business. It's really hard to think about how many businesses will close because of the things going on right now in the world. Not just that we went through this pandemic, there's now a lot of debt that businesses have because they just tried to make it through the pandemic. Now they're getting hit with inflation. Their costs of products are, the cost of their cost of goods sold, like everything that they use, all their ingredients, all of those costs have gone up for them. The cost of labor has gone up, and these businesses are struggling. So we need you to go out and support them. I always think about this moment when people are like, oh, my favorite restaurant or my favorite business is closing down. That really sucks. And then you ask them, well, when was the last time that you went there? When was the last time that you bought something and supported them? That's what we need right now. We don't need well wishes and prayers. We need for everyone to go out and do what they can. And I totally understand if you are not in a financial position to do a lot. But you know what's free? Sharing their posts, referring them to other people, hyping them up, making sure that people know about them. The people that do have disposable income right now know about them. So if you can't support them monetarily, like their posts, share their posts, put it in your stories, however you can get the message out about their amazing products and their amazing food and whatever it is that you love about that business. That's what I want you to share, because it's all, hyping a business up is free. Referring a business is free, and it could mean the difference between them closing or them staying open this year. And every single Black-owned business that survives and that thrives is a step away from racism and is a step past slavery, and it is moving forward. It is bringing and uplifting the community that suffered so long in America. And that's what I want you to focus on today. That's what I want you to focus on this month. That's what I want you to focus on this year. Think about all the local small businesses that are suffering. Think about who you can support and how you can support them. If you can't do it monetarily, do it by word of mouth. And on that note, have an amazing Money Monday. Thank you, Sharks. As a point, I'm not going to make any, if you want to learn what I have going on and what's coming up for me, I will do a separate post about that. I don't think it's relevant in this Money Monday. So I love you all. Have an amazing Juneteenth. I hope that you celebrated it the way that you need to. I hope that we put another like push away from slavery, from that past, from racism. Like, let's move forward. Let's be better. Bye, everyone.